Foreign 2000 Foundation Executive Director Jacob Klepauer. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to begin by thanking the Foreign 2000 Foundation for inviting me once again to this important event at such a critical time for democracies worldwide. I also want to express my appreciation to Executive Director Klepauer and his colleagues at the Foreign 2000 Foundation for their staunch support for Taiwan's democracy. Last month, when China imposes what it called disciplinary action against the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy on false pretenses, the Foreign 2000 Foundation was the first to condemn China for intensifying attacks on human rights and freedoms in Taiwan. I'm grateful for your unwavering support for Taiwan's democracy and solidarity with the Taiwanese people. It is my understanding the organizer moved up the date of this year's conference from October due to Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. As the Ukrainian people bravely defend their country, democracy advocates worldwide know that time is of the essence. There's a dire need for Democrats to come together to counter the resurgence of authoritarianism and to make democracies more resilient in this increasingly challenging environment. Authoritarian regimes will use whatever means necessary, including targeting innocent civilians, to achieve their expansionist goals. The war in Ukraine has now become a constant reminder of that. I commend Foreign 2000 for hosting a special forum for Ukraine, where participants discussed how Ukraine can rise from the war and move towards a secure future at the heart of the European and global democratic communities. One of the main reasons Taiwanese empathize with Ukraine is that we too have to deal with the constant threat of authoritarianism. This threat has been present for decades and has only intensified in recent years, particularly as democracies and their leaders demonstrated their willingness to visit and work with Taiwan. Our partnership with Europe have flourished because they are built on our shared values of democracy and freedom. This year, several EU and member states parliamentarians traveled to Taiwan to show their support. A number of EU member states also spoke out to support Taiwan's participation in the World Health Assembly, and Taiwan and several European countries are building even closer relationships. The EU's joint communication on its strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific pledges to strengthen cooperation with Taiwan in key industries such as semiconductors, information and communications technology, and data protection. In response to these efforts, authoritarian regimes have resorted to economic coercion and political and cognitive warfare. Disinformation and influence operations have also been used to subvert democracies in Europe and to punish those who engage with Taiwan. I'm glad to inform you that Taiwan's democratic partners bravely stood up to authoritarian pressure to strengthen their relationship with Taiwan. Their actions deeply moved the Taiwanese people. We have tried every possible way to show our gratitude to our democratic friends. I want to emphasize here that neither threats nor coercion will shake Taiwan's resolve to engage with the world. Taiwan and its people stand ready to step up cooperation with democracies in areas where we can be helpful. More importantly, collaboration, support, information sharing remain key to democratic resilience, and Taiwan has been working diligently to combat authoritarian influence, with democracy and freedom as a non-negotiable part of who we are. This determination gives Taiwan the resilience to meet challenges head-on and defend against forces seeking to undermine our democratic institutions and the liberal democratic world order. We also want to encourage democracies to lend their support to facilitate agencies for democratic assistance. Taiwan established the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy, or TFD, almost 20 years ago. TFD has been offering support to domestic and international civil society groups in their efforts to bolster democracy and human rights. The Taiwan Foundation for Democracy also works closely with institutions such as the National Endowment for Democracy and its family organizations, as well as the Europe-based foundations such as the Forum 2000 Foundation and Alliance for Democracy Foundation. A part of this cooperation is facilitating discussions on shared norms and helping identify ways in which democracies can deliver. It also encourages a whole-of-society approach that rests on participation from a diverse range of stakeholders. Democracies need to be confident about who we are so that we can help ourselves and one another. During our meeting last year, we discussed how we can recover from COVID-19 pandemic while safeguarding our democratic institutions. Since then, it seems the challenges we face have become even more profound. We continue working to control the spread of COVID-19 variants in our efforts to have our lives return to normal. Now we must also counter threats from authoritarian regimes and war. Even in these difficult times, however, we should be proud that we have worked together with strength and partnership. Before I conclude, I want to again express my deepest gratitude to our friends from across Europe, particularly Lithuania, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Poland, for coming to Taiwan's aid during a very critical time. The people of Taiwan will never forget your kindness and will return this generosity in due time. Taiwan's democracy, similar to European democracies, was built on the sacrifices of those who fought against authoritarianism. We all walked a long road to realize the freedoms that we enjoy today. So we have a shared understanding of how precious and sometimes fragile democracies can be. And we know how important it is for us to stand together. I'm sure your discussions over the past 2 days have been encouraging and productive. And while I know we'll surely face greater challenges in the future, I'm also confident that by standing united, working together, and keeping our belief in the values of democracy, we'll always overcome the challenges that we face and achieve our goals. Thank you.